Hey everybody, welcome to the Focus page. It's me, Mr. P again, and I'm going to be giving you my newest film review of the week. Christopher Nolan has established himself to be one of the best writers and directors around. He first burst into the scene in the early 2000s with small, independent but well-received films such as Memento and Insomnia. But it wasn't until 2005 where his career took off big time, where he brought us the acclaimed reboot Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, and Liam Neeson. Now, this film grossed over $350 million worldwide. It reinvigorated the DC comic book franchise after the dire mess that was Batman and Robin. And it set a precedent for other comic book films to come in terms of the maturity and tone of the film. He brought us the full interpretation and about what everybody felt that Batman should be. And again, I think that he took the lead from the Tim Burton franchise as well. The sequel to that, Dark Knight, which was released in 2008, grossed over $1 billion worldwide, and it earned a posthumous Academy Award for Heath Ledger for his incredible interpretation of the Joker, and it also won two other Academy Awards as well for editing and sound effects. Now, he's shown us that he can not only handle comic book films, but he can also deliver us original stories as well. And true words were never spoken in 2010 when he brought us the acclaimed Inception, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, this film was one of the most innovative and original stories ever to hit the screen. It grossed over $800 million worldwide and won 4 Academy Awards. Subsequent films after that, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, has proved that Christopher Nolan is a trusted and in fact one of the best directors around. His latest effort, Dunkirk, which was released this Friday, has been received to universal acclaim, and many people have been hailing it as one of the best war films to ever be made. Now, Dunkirk tells the story of British Allied soldiers on the beach of Dunkirk who are fighting off the Belgians and fighting off the French. And they're surrounded by the Germans on this beach, and the film focuses on getting these soldiers off the beach and getting them to safety. Now, the cinematography, the musical score and direction of this film is excellent. Excellent, and I loved every minute of it. And for me, the focus of this film is solely on the war. When the film opens, it jumps straight into the events of what happened on Dunkirk. There is no backstory to this film, and I think that was what some of the criticisms were from other critics, that they felt that, I don't know who this character is, I don't know what their story is, I don't know who this guy is or what he's doing is. But for me, this film is not a traditional war movie. This film is not a traditional Hollywood war movie. So if you're going into this film expecting a big budget blockbuster with like gargantuan explosions, etc., and visual effects and cliched speeches, you're not going to get that from this film. In fact, that film rebels against this film. I think the main distinguishing feature of this film is that it's told from 3 synoptic viewpoints. It's told from an air fighter's perspective, played by Tom Hardy. It's played by the soldiers who are on the ground, who are in the front lines fighting off the Germans. And it's also told from the perspective of a guy in a boat who is again, along with other people on the fleet, trying to rescue these guys from the beach. Now, for me, this film, as I said before, it rebels against the Hollywood formula of war movies. So there's no backstory. There's no elongated, cliched speeches. It doesn't jump to, seeing some guy playing Churchill surrounded by his advisors, taking advice as to how to best evacuate the troops. It doesn't do that at all. It is just a different war movie with a different take on it, and it works beautifully. And I think another thing that works about this film is that even though it's a 12, and there is some strong language in this film, it doesn't focus solely on guts and gore. I mean, there are some intense fighting sequences. People do get shot, but the violence in this film and the way that the soldiers die wasn't done to the same effect that Steven Spielberg did with Saving Private Ryan. It doesn't work on that level. It doesn't aim for that level. It just focuses solely on tension, character, and the events, and he basically puts us in the seat of where the soldiers are and takes us on their journey. Now, Christopher Nolan is a director that doesn't like to rely heavily on special effects. He's a very practical director. He likes to think, and he did that very well in this film. Because one thing I noticed, that there was very few visual effects in this movie. 6,000 extras. That's right, 6,000 extras were used in this movie to play the Allied soldiers. Actual planes were used for the actual fighting sequences in the air. The explosions were real. The sets were real. the ships were real, and it was all done to great effect. Now, some people say, you know, you need to go on an IMAX screen to watch this movie. And for me, when I saw this movie, I saw it on a regular screen, and I think for me, it worked beautifully. It worked beautifully, and I think whether you see it on an IMAX screen, whether you see it on a normal screen, you will still come away with the same effect that this is a beautifully shot film. And for me, you know, again, like I said, it's not Hollywood, you know, there's no big explosions or visual effects. It's just Christopher Nolan relying on his talent to do this film. Now, the performances in this film are excellent. You know, I mean, some people say, you know, I mean, Harry Styles from One Direction is in this film, but it doesn't really say much. Forget about him. A lot of the Christopher Nolan frequent collaborators, that is Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, they're in this film, and their performances are very subtle, but still very emotional. Now, this film is Christopher Nolan's shortest film to date. It's an hour and 40 minutes, and for me, it works perfectly. You know what I mean? It didn't need to be too long. I mean, the film works perfectly. It's told from 3 synoptic viewpoints, and each synoptic viewpoint from that film gets the allocated time that they needed, and it works perfectly. You know, and again, the direction of this film is excellent. Christopher Nolan has proven himself to be a director of many talents who can handle tension, he can handle emotion, he can handle character, and he's very good at developing characters. And for me, the characters, whilst there's no backstory, you empathize with them in some way in saying that, you know what, these guys are scared, they're trying to get away, and they're trying to get to safety. Kenneth Branagh is also in this film, and he does an excellent performance as always. But for me, I think one of the real stars of this film is the composer, Hans Zimmer, who is beyond a shadow of a doubt one of the best film composers around. The score that he's composed for this film is excellent, and it serves the film perfectly. The way that he and Christopher Nolan work together is magic. They work together on Inception, they work together on the previous Batman films, they work together on Interstellar, and I think for me this is their best effort to date. You know, the way that the musical compositions that Hans Zimmer has done for the music, for the action sequences, for the tension, for the drama, all work beautifully, and it helps the film flow succinctly. You know, it's not overdone, it's done in a very, very beautiful and respectful manner, and I think it serves the film perfectly. And for me, after watching this film, and I think that for me it adds to the intensity of the film and the character of the film. And I honest to God believe, after watching this film, and I'm sure that other critics will agree as well, that this is a film that could be a serious Oscar contender. Definitely a contender in the musical composition, in the cinematography, in the editing, in the sound effects, and possibly, Christopher Nolan could earn his first Oscar nomination as a director. I honest to God actually do believe that, because he's done a beautiful film, and it's not like Saving Private Ryan or The Thin Red Line or any of these other movies. It's told from a very, very different viewpoint, where it's a short film, but we still feel empathy. And there are moments which, you know, clutch at your heartstrings. You know, there's one scene in the film where, without giving too many spoilers away, the soldiers come back on the beach, and there's a blind man that says, "Well done," and one of the soldiers says, "Well, what did we do? What we did was survive." And he said, "Well, that's good enough." And there's a scene where Kenneth Branagh sees some of the boats coming to rescue the soldiers, and the musical composition that Hans Zimmer composed for that film I thought was beautiful, and it worked so well. And I remember there was someone behind me that was applauding that film, and rightly so, because it was just a beautiful ending to the film, and Christopher Nolan has done it again. And again, I will put him up there with those directors like James Cameron, Quentin Tarantino, who they don't churn out film after film after film after film after film. No, sir. They take their time. You know, every film has to be of consistent quality. And if you look at his filmography thus far, he is building on that beautifully. And I really can't wait to see what Christopher Nolan does next. For me, I had a thought, and maybe you guys would agree with me. Maybe he should direct the next James Bond film. He's proven himself to be a wonderful director, and even a wonderful writer as well. So let's see if he can do that. On the whole, Dunkirk, thoroughly enjoyable, beautifully made, and a very, very well-paced film. And again, you know, the standard of film for war movies is now Saving Private Ryan. And if you're expecting a film where it's going to be big on action, blood and guts, you know, you won't get that from Dunkirk, but you will still get a riveting piece of entertainment. So is Dunkirk one to watch? Absolutely. Is it one for the DVD collection? Absolutely. Could this film win an Academy Award in the technical division and possibly one for Christopher Nolan? Maybe. But I'll keep you guys posted on that one and when it comes to Oscar nominations next year. But it is a beautifully made war movie. And some people say that this is Christopher Nolan's best work to date, and I definitely say it's up there. I mean, my favourite thus far is still Inception, but this is a beautifully made film, a very, very well told film, and it is one that I highly recommend that you will watch. Well, folks, that's the end of that review. If you like the film, please comment. Feel free to subscribe to my page. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and I will catch you on the next film run. Take care, stay blessed.